Reggie Miller will be on the call. Game 1, Western Conference semis between the Nuggets and the Suns tonight. That's 10 Eastern on TNT. The Hall of Famer, Reggie, joins us on the program. Could we ever get you into the boxing ring and fight Floyd Mayweather? I mean, everybody else is getting in the ring, Reg.
Wow, I'm sure there's some fellows I would love to get into the ring with. No. I give a lot of credit to Ocho Cinco for doing that. There is absolutely 0% you would get those gloves on me. And I consider myself a boxing aficionado. I love the sport. I love going to the big prize fights, but it takes a different switch to be a boxer, a MMA fighter. It's a little different.
What if I put you in there against Tayshaun Prince?
See, he's a nice guy.
Oh, okay.
He's a nice guy.
But height and weight, I'm trying to get. Or do
We're
I want
the same?
How would you do against Muggsy Bogues?
Muggsy might get me.
Yeah, I know.
Muggsy might get me.
But you're not a fighter, right? You're an
not
agitator
a fighter per se, but I did have my share of scraps while I played, just trying to create space for myself. But I am not a fighter. I'm a lover, as MJ said in that video with Paul McCartney. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Michael Jordan. I was thinking Michael Jordan was in a video with Paul McCartney?
No, Michael Jackson, Paul McCartney, say. How
would it go if you and Michael Jordan got in the ring?
It wouldn't go well for me. It wouldn't go well for me.
Yeah, I would always tell these guys, like Chad Ochocinco actually did pretty well the first 3 rounds. Keep your gloves up.
Yeah.
Just because you get tired and these guys drop their gloves or they want to act like they're Ali and they're going to dance or Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm like, keep your glove. Boom. Gets tagged right on the jaw.
What was great about that is after his knockdown, when he got out, I don't know if he was a little delirious when he was trying to give him a high five. He was still kind of stumbling. We laugh at that, but we don't know the level of pain that Chad was going through, right? He just wanted to give him a high five.
What's the best title fight that you've ever witnessed in person?
I would probably have to say because it was a spectacle, I'm going to go with Floyd and Manny, just for the simple fact there was so much hype that was leading up to it. And it merged pop culture, the sport of boxing together because it was an event. It just wasn't a boxing match. It was an event. And to have ringside seats to be a part of that and feel the atmosphere, because it's something different from a prize fight than running out of a tunnel for an NBA game. The atmosphere, because you have betting sides. You have guys that are solely on Floyd and that were solely on Manny. And it was hype. So to be a part of that was kind of cool.
We're talking to Reggie Miller. Reg will be on the call. It's Nuggets Suns Game 1 Western Conference Finals. That will be semifinals. That'll be at 10 Eastern on TNT. Let me start with the James Harden interview, or at least that conversation of he goes off the floor, and it didn't look terrible, but Steve Nash said he felt horrible, like this was big news, bad news. But James didn't give us the impression that this might be something where he's not even playing in this series. What did you take away from that moment?
Well, again, only an athlete will know his body, his or her body, the best. To me, what it sounded like is this is something that's kind of been an ongoing. Obviously, he's had issues with his hamstrings this season where he's re-aggravated them. But it looks like leading up to this, that it was still on the fringe of something being wrong. And for it to happen that quickly in the beginning of game 1, hamstrings, groins, what Anthony Davis had, those are things that take time to recover from. I would not be surprised if he probably misses this series, and if they're fortunate to get to the conference finals, he comes back for that. But on the flip side, because of physical therapy and treatment, if he can come back by games 4 or 5, that wouldn't surprise me as well.
But it's going to linger, Reg. That it's going to stay with him the rest of this postseason.
And his type of game, which is short, explosive moves, that's all hamstrings. That's all groin. So it's all connected. I feel for him because, to me, it's theirs to lose now. Even with him going down, they still have Kyrie, they still have KD. To me, it's still theirs to lose. But you want to be a part of that, and he is a big and huge part of the success of the Nets, and you would like to see him out there.
Everything okay with the Clippers now that they've moved on?
No, it's not. It's great that they advanced, but there's a lot of questions. And just because they got by the Dallas Mavericks and Luca in the first round, what's waiting for them is the best passing and shooting team in the NBA, in the Utah Jazz. So they kind of wanted this because they thought they were going to avoid the Lakers. Now the Lakers are out. But you're going to get a very dangerous offensive weapon in the Utah Jazz. No one has given them credit. Their only loss was when Donovan Mitchell did not play in Game 1 versus Memphis. They go off and run 4 straight against Memphis. If they shoot the ball, the problem with Dallas was Luca and at times Hardaway was really the only offensive weapons for the Mavericks. The Jazz have 4 or 5 guys that can flat out shoot the basketball. They spread you out. This could be a very tough and long series for the Clippers.
How do you build around Luca?
It's very difficult because he's ball dominant, and that's not a bad thing. You look at the 14 assists last night. I mean, he not only was he scoring, but he was setting up his teammates as well. It's difficult because you've got to find bigs that can stretch the floor, that can play in the high pick and roll. And that's why you thought Porzingis was a perfect fit for them. That should be your go-to money play. Porzingis, Luca, end of game. How are you going to play it? You switch, Luca can kill the bigs, or you could put Porzingis, someone in the post, but Porzingis has been very disappointed all season to me. He was injury plagued. So I don't know how you build around him because it's not like they need a point guard because he is the point guard on that team. You need bigs that can stretch the floor and shoot.
Would you keep Porzingis?
Personally, no. I would see what I can get for him, but it depends on what I'm going to get in return. For him to say that he felt that his role was diminished or they didn't use him well, he had plenty of opportunities to make an imprint in that series, and he didn't. Especially when they went up 3-2 going home. That to me, that was the series right there. If they weren't going to close it out at home, being up 3-2, then it was going to be very difficult to win Game 7 in Staples.
Who's the best player in the NBA?
I will always go with a healthy LeBron James as the best player, just for the simple fact that he does everything.
Even now?
Healthy. I said healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, before he went down with the ankle injury, he was in the discussion for the MVP.
Yeah.
He was one of the top 3 candidates
before
the ankle injury. I mean, he's going to give you 25, 8, and 8. I mean, I will take that. Plus what he does lifting up his teammates. But, I mean,
But that's an off night for Luca, though, Reg.
Serious contenders for the crown. Luca, I mean, what Steph has done at 32, soon to be 33. Kevin Durant. I mean, there's a lot of guys coming for that crown. Giannis, a 2-time MVP, but he has flaws, in my opinion. I mean, it's hard for me to say he's the best player when there's serious flaws in his game. The MVP this year, I think, it's going to be Jokic. We're going to see him tonight versus DeAndre Ayton, which I'm excited to see. An up-and-coming young center versus the potential MVP. And then Joel Embiid has a torn meniscus and goes out and gets 39 in game one in Philadelphia, right? So there are serious guys for the crown of that best player in the league, Dan, but a healthy LeBron James at 35, 36, it's hard to shy away from that.
Who do you like in your series, Nuggets Suns?
You would think that Denver has the edge because they have experience. They were in the conference finals last year versus the Lakers. They understand how to win tough series, being down 3-1 twice last year in the bubble, finding ways to win. But something is brewing here in the desert. Monty Williams just has these guys clicked in. And with the injury to Chris Paul, I thought that series was over if he wasn't going to be able to come back and be healthy. But Cameron Payne was fantastic off the bench. Jay Crowder has found his shot. He was 2 of 20 from threes in the first 3 games of that series, went 12 of 20 the rest of the way. His toughness, I think it's going to be a very difficult series, but I have Phoenix winning in 7. But you can make a case for Denver as well in 7. But I think this is going the distance between these two teams.
Jay Crowder is not afraid of LeBron James.
No, he's not.
He gets right in his face. It's almost as if he says to LeBron, "What are you going to do? Because I'm not afraid of you." That's interesting because you normally don't see somebody step up to somebody like that. I mean, think of all the great players in the game and the history of the game. Like who stood up right in somebody's face and basically is trying to emasculate you. Like Jay Crowder wants LeBron to know, I don't care who you are.
I'm going to be right here the whole time. And I think that gave the inexperienced, other than Chris Paul, the inexperienced Suns life, juice. And I think it's going to be that toughness that is why they will prevail in 7 games versus Denver. People don't have a pick'em series between these two, but to me, the key will be DeAndre Ayton versus Jokic. Who can get the other center in foul trouble? If Ayton is in foul trouble, advantage Denver, Denver wins the series. If Ayton can stay out of foul trouble and stay on the floor and play Jokic one-on-one and neutralize him, which is easier said than done, and you could stay home with the shooters, advantage Suns win the series.
We were talking about this earlier. McLovin thinks that Trae Young, you can't put your hands on him. You can't rough him up. In today's NBA, that if you're playing when you played, like Trae Young will be put on his butt a couple of times in a series. So the NBA is basically saying that we don't want this to ever happen again. We want to protect our players. We don't want guys getting knocked down. There's no Jordan rules here. There's no bad boys with the Pistons. So you think that is the NBA is doing this on purpose, not just for Trae Young, but we're not going to allow this to happen in basketball again.
They want scoring up. They want freedom of movement. And what does that do? That puts the casual fans in the stands because they want to see spectacular plays. They want to see Trae Young knock down 30, 35-footers. They want to see him shoot floaters from the free throw line without being put on his behind. That puts the casual fan, not the hardcore fan, the casual fans will come to game to be like, hey, that's the guy that took on New York. That's the guy who, iced Trae and was telling the crowd. The casual fan wants to see that. And that's no disrespect to Trae because he is slowly becoming, if not already, a household name for what his exploits in New York and what he potentially could do in Philly against 2 marquee franchises. So I have no problem with that. But this has been going on for a while, the freedom of movement. This is not new this season. Freedom of movement really started the beginning of 2000. Commissioner Stern wanted scoring to be up. He didn't want the bloodbath between Detroit, New York, Indiana, holding, clutching, hitting, scores 85 to 90. They want that up there 120 to 125. That's what it is today.
When did they start allowing the players to carry the basketball?
That's been on since the beginning of time.
No. It was Iverson.
Carrying?
Iverson and Stockton are those guys.
Tim Hardaway,
Yeah, Hardaway, yeah. But
Okay?
now it's not even. It's never called.
No.
Like you can
It
have
has
your
to be
hand
blatant.
under the ball and then like it's. I mean, come on. Call a carry.
I'm more call a walk. Forget the carry. Call a walk. Call a walk.
There's no
I
traveling.
pride myself on fundamentals coming from UCLA. That's all they built into us was wooden jump stop, pivot, jump stop. Call the walks.
Do you think though, like Iverson carried all the time, right?
Yes, all the time.
And Stockton.
And Tim Hardaway, yes.
Yeah.
And Kobe a little bit.
And if you had a handle, then you may be.
I had handle. Oh wait, hold on. That's not it. This is my handle right here.
Yeah, that's all you did right there.
That's all I needed.
Yeah.
See that elbow? Wait, hold on. There we go. See that elbow?
I know you're one of the great shooters in history, but I wouldn't teach your form to anybody.
No, not at all. It was very unorthodox. It was invented out of getting my shot blocked 9 out of 10 times from my older sister and older brothers. I couldn't shoot like this right in front of them because it kept going back. So I would do this and kind of push it over them. And that's where that was born from.
Do you have a basketball there with you?
I don't. I'm in the hotel here in Phoenix. And why would I travel with a basketball, Theodore?
I don't know. I do.
You travel with a basketball on the road?
Yes. It's my best friend. I get a seat for the basketball when I fly.
Baller,
First
man.
class.
You know what? I got to get
first class for my basketball.
See, this is why you and my Danettes are winning Emmys tomorrow.
No, we're not.
This is exactly why you guys are winning Emmys tomorrow, because you guys feel
you're getting an Emmy if we win an Emmy.
We are getting an Emmy.
You're going to be a winner, Reggie. You're finally going to be a winner.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to get up. I'm going to cry. I just want to say,
okay,
Theodore, okay, we are going to win tomorrow. Okay, look, I'm just telling everyone. After the game tomorrow morning, I'm walking in. You've been to the Valley of Sun. You've heard of Camelback Mountain. People hike and run up there.
Yeah.
I'm going to the top of Camelback tomorrow. Sunrise. As the sun's coming up, I'm going to say a little prayer. We are winning an Emmy.
Could you videotape you at the top of Camelback Mountain tomorrow?
Videotape and send it to you of my acceptance speech of us winning an Emmy.
All right, I'm going to play that tomorrow night on the viewing party, and we will play that video. And then the after party, I think Lil Kim is going to perform.
What?
Yeah. I think it's
she's booked, yeah. Big entourage.
Yeah.
The green room is gonna be nuts.
Lil Kim?
Yeah, I think Lil Kim is gonna perform. Who else? Is Missy Elliott?
Missy Elliott's in.
Yeah.
Yeah, just found out.
Yeah. We are sparing no expense here.
This is why.
Yeah.
Hey, Emmys, baby. We're winning.
Yes.
Little Kim, Missy.
And we tried to get Hall & Oates, but we could only get Oates. But and then I asked Paulie to get Cisco.
He said yes
Cisco
immediately.
said yes immediately. Have fun tonight, Reg, and we will have you in our hearts tomorrow night.
Thank you. I am sending my acceptance speech of our Emmy.
Yes. Thank you, buddy. That's Reggie Aloysius Miller Jr., III Hall of Famer. He'll be on the call tonight at 10 Eastern on TNT. It's Nuggets and the Suns rally in the Valley.